Call of Duty Zombies and Easter eggs go hand in hand, and with over 12 years of Zombies maps, there is a lot of Easter eggs. In this video, we're going to be going over 20 forgotten Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies, where only the oldest zombie players have a chance of knowing all of them. There are a lot of Easter eggs to get through, so buckle up, like the video if you like Easter eggs, and go on to enjoy this video, and let's get started. This first Easter egg has got to be one of the oldest Easter eggs in all of Zombies, and this is known as the Hanging Man Easter egg, which we now know as Peter McCain. All the way back in World at War in 2009 when this map dropped, if you threw enough grenades at the Hanging Man, you could get him to fall over. The way to do this is just to throw a ridiculous amount of grenades underneath him until he eventually falls over, and as you can see in this case, we've got it. And regardless of if you're playing on solo, if you're playing co-op, at random, if you walk over this body or near this body, there's a chance that it will instantly kill you and reset your game. On solo, it will be a game over, but in co-op, your screen goes grey and your game resets. To this day, no one really understands why this happens, but there's been several patches over the years that have affected how this Easter egg works. If you've been playing Zombies since the very beginning, you will remember this one, and boy, this will bring back some memories. Since we're on World at War, let's talk about a really cool Easter egg in the game's menus that was only solved a few years ago thanks to a hint that Jason Blundell gave to me and Mr. Ruffle Waffles. Within the menus, you have the option for character bios, which gives you a brief breakdown of the 4 characters that were introduced in World at War. Little did we know that there was actually a secret message embedded within the character bios. If we take the capital letter from the start of every sentence in all 4 character bios, it spells out a sentence. The sentence reads, "The Doctor wants the ultimate power." Now, this being solved back in 2016 was incredible because it shows that Treyarch had a general idea of Richtofen's character arc and the foreshadowing that would take place in Black Ops 1. Of course, by 2016, this wasn't really relevant anymore, but it's still fantastic to see. This next Easter egg is an Easter egg that will put you on round 200, and this is called Don't Freeze on Tag der Toten. In order to do this, you need to go to every area that contains water, stay in the water long enough so that you freeze, and then melee yourself out of it. Once you've done that, a button appears in the spawn that will activate freeze mode. With freeze mode enabled, every time you stop moving, you will start freezing on the spot, which is really freaky, and after a short while, you'll be put to round 200. A really unique Easter egg, but that's not the only round 200 Easter egg in this video, because there's also a way to do this on Alpha Omega, which is called Insanity mode. This is activated through a small quest involving following a purple orb, smashing a load of TVs with the Bowie knife, and getting a code to put into Rushmore. But activating this Easter egg transforms the map into classic Nuketown Zombies, keeping you locked into the cul-de-sac, and you'll be on round 200, and it takes about 1 hour to complete this round. This next Easter egg will take us to Voyage of Despair in Black Ops 4, and this is probably one of the most hidden messages I've ever seen in Zombies. To activate this Easter egg, you need to equip acid grenades and throw a grenade into the equipment in this window on the map, and it's going to spawn a Morse code light that's going to be flickering a message for 2.5 minutes that you can only really see if you look really carefully in the sky, as you can see here. But in general gameplay, this is going to be so ridiculously hard to notice that I don't know how Treyarch ever expected anyone to know how to do this. Translating the Morse code into English, it says, "Why do you wish to save the one who abandoned you?" Which is obvious foreshadowing for Scarlet Rhodes and her father. Moving on to our next Easter egg, and it involves spooky, scary skeletons on Der Eisendrache. Did you know that you can turn all the zombies into skeletons? To do this, you're going to need to have the in plain sight gobblegum on to see these skulls hidden around the map that you need to shoot with the Wrath of the Ancients bow, and then after that, there will be a skull in the church on one of the chairs, and you can just go up to it and it will activate skeleton Easter egg, where instead of zombies, there will be skeletons. Now let's talk about one of the most useless Easter eggs ever in Zombies, and this is a convoluted Easter egg on Shadows of Evil to upgrade the shield to the Goddard apparatus. Now to do this, it is actually pretty difficult. You need to use the rocket shield to get 10 plus kills in 12 consecutive bursts. So it's essentially like you're getting a perfect strike on a game of bowling. You'll hear a bowling pin sound every time you hit 10 plus zombies with with the rocket shield 12 times without breaking that chain. And once you do, you get the Goddard apparatus. Now, the thing is, this upgraded shield isn't that much different from the original. It just has 4 bursts instead of 3 and sustains more damage, but there is absolutely no reason to ever go for this because it is just not worth it. Now let's switch gears from Treyarch zombies and go over to Sledgehammer, where we're going to be showing you the secret PPSH Easter egg on the final right. Now this secret PPSH is a much better version of the normal PPSH, and it's called the Classic, which is a reference to the original one from back in World at War. It has a 70 of 115 round drum magazine. It shoots much faster than the standard PPSH, and when you upgrade it, it has a different name to the typical PPSH. To unlock this, you had to interact with 4 money bowls found around the map and drop points in them, and then use the mystery box until the classic PPSH appears. Pretty random, I know, but very cool to see a reference to Treyarch zombies in a non-Treyarch zombies game. Who doesn't like getting a beefier version of a weapon that already existed in the map through just a very small Easter egg? Now this next Easter egg took well over 800 plus days to be found, and this is the 9 guitar Easter egg. What this does is during these special rounds, all of the enemies out the map will be playing air guitar as well as rocking out to a custom track that only plays during this round. Steps for this were really vague and weird and were only recently discovered through decompiled scripts, and without them I don't think we would ever have discovered how to activate this Easter egg. It's a really cool Easter egg, don't get me wrong, but there just isn't much point to it, so that's why you probably forgot about it. Coming in for our 10th forgotten Easter egg is one which is really fascinating to me, and this is the Alpha Omega jump scare. If you grab a sniper rifle and make your way over to the greenhouse backyard and look at this part of the map, you will see a really faint model out in the distance that's actually moving. Now, upon first glance, you'd think it was just a zombie, but what's fascinating is this is client-based to what you'll see, and what you're looking at is actually a character model of you. If we use mods to enable no clip to fly out the map to see what we're really looking at, is actually a model of your player character that you stare at, and it's fully animated with an idle zombie animation where the hands are going crazy, but there's never been an explanation why your character is out the map here. But this is something even I didn't know about, and this is one of the only Easter eggs in all of zombies history that is based purely on your character. And this is why I thought I'd put it in here. It's one of the most unique jump scares we've had, aside of course from Zetsubo no Shima's. Jumping into our next forgotten Easter egg is one which only got solved a few years ago, and this is on Horizon Drag, and this is a real shocker. This is a shrine dedicated to Treyarch designer Drew Marlowe's family. It shows an image of them and a love heart floating outside of the spawn room, and the steps for this are absolutely ridiculous. You have to get to round 2, but don't pass round 2. You have to allow the zombies to break down all the barriers in the spawn room. You need to build it exactly 2 boards back on each of the 5 barriers, then buy the RK5 off the wall. Build 2 more boards onto each of the 5 barriers for a total of 4, then buy the Shiva off the wall, replacing the RK5. Then build 1 more board on each of the 5 barriers, purchase the RK5 off the wall again, replacing the Shiva, and in a very quick time frame, run to and buy the door which leads out the spawn towards the KRM, and you'll see this spawn. You have to follow these steps exactly, and if you buy any weapon out of the required order or taking longer than 5 seconds to look off the edge of the map, will fail the Easter egg for the remainder of the game. This Easter egg is so ridiculous that even the designer himself said that this wasn't meant to be found by the public, but he's not mad that it's out there. I remember when this got solved back in 2019 that a lot of the community were absolutely astounded by this. Our next Easter egg takes us to Black Ops 4 with a heartwarming tribute to the legend that made Call of the Dead so memorable, and that is the George Romero tribute Easter egg. In the lighthouse station is a set of glasses which belong to the man himself, and you can interact with this and gain a free 500 points and a quote from your character.
These glasses belonged to an icon. We walk in his footsteps.
A very classy tribute to the legend of horror movies. This next Easter egg takes us to Blood of the Dead, and if you get yourself a sniper rifle and look over to this section on the bridge, you're going to get a jump scare of the Shadow Man. I think it's really fascinating that you need to look at that specific window of this house, almost as if to insinuate this is where the Shadow Man was planning all of the stuff that happens in this map. And technically, it's one of the only few times in game that you actually see the Shadow Man in Black Ops 4. Now, this next Easter egg is a really cool one, and when this was first discovered was absolutely incredible, as it's fan service at its highest. And this is unlocking Takio's katana on Revelations. In order to do this, you need to have completed every single Easter egg in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and then go through the Easter egg in Revelations up to the part where you grab the book from Samantha's room. What you'll need to do is go and pick up the wisp that's in the spawn room, and without getting touched by any zombies, go through the teleporter into her room and interact with a box that symbolizes the mystery box. If you make your way up to the Shangri-La portion of the map, you'll be able to pick up the Path of Sorrows off the wall for 500 points, and it literally is Takio's katana. Back in the day, everyone was waiting for so long for this to be a thing in Zombies, and Treyarch went ahead and did it, and it's absolutely awesome. This thing is a one-hit kill until round 42, which is really, really strong. Staying on the topic of melee weapons, let's go over another forgotten Easter egg weapon, which is the steak knife from Dead of the Night. There's quite a few things which are annoying on this map, and one of them being the Nosferatus and vampires, and this weapon allows you to take them out with ease. It is quite complex though in order to unlock this thing. Various steps involved, such as looking at certain numbers that have been etched into trees, and some very specific steps where you need to kill 12 vampires near an altar, which will charge up a branch that you can then pick up and be able to craft the steak knife out of the branch. This map had a lot of creative stuff with it, and this is definitely up there, as it's an extremely powerful melee weapon, allowing you to one-hit kill vampires to a very high round, which is very useful on this map. Let's jump back to Voyage of Despair to show you two really interesting Easter eggs. The first takes place down in the cargo hold, where you need to use a level 3 Scepter of Ra with the water still in the cargo hold. You're going to need to equip the scepter, drop it down, activate its shining beacon ability, and near this wooden crate, it's going to reveal a secret message. Now, this message is written in Welsh, and decrypted says, "The one you're looking for cannot be saved if you cannot save yourself first." This was only discovered about a month ago, and just goes to show the complexity of some of the Easter eggs in Zombies, that this was only found recently. Now, there's another Easter egg on this map which I doubt many of you know about, and it involves going up to this painting, and you need to knife it 9 times. On the 9th melee, this painting is going to fall down, and at the time, I'm sure you'd think there is no significance to this, but there is a cipher written on the left side of the painting, which is really, really small. This cipher is an @bash cipher, and the decoded message is, "Saving your old friend will not atone for the suffering you've caused others." And jumping out to Black Ops 3 for this next Easter egg, this is one which at the time was really crazy. Treyarch actually added a brand new Easter egg to most of the Chronicles maps, and Kino de Toten got quite a significant one, and this is the knocking door Easter egg. Near double tap, there is a door where you can hear some knocking, and you're going to want to knife it a few times to essentially knock back, and you're going to eventually hear the door start to knock with a number sequence with 3 numbers that you need to knock back. It's a really strange Easter egg that spawns a Samantha doll near the stage, and you're going to shoot it and then basically shoot others that you find around the map, and it will reward you with a max ammo and a music Easter egg. Now, it's a lot of work just for a max ammo, but back in the day, Kino de Toten never had an Easter egg, and this is really, really cool that there's some lore behind someone trapped behind a door, and you need to basically repeat the knocks that person shows you. Now, our second to last Easter egg in this video is going to be a classic, and it's the weirdest tool to use in a game of Zombies, and that's the plunger Easter egg on Der Eisendrache. Who would have thought that getting a plunger would be so useful for the final boss fight in the Easter egg? If you have no idea how a plunger in Zombies is so useful, essentially when you kill a panzer, this plunger becomes an upgraded elemental version where for about a minute afterwards, you can one-hit panzers with 1 melee of this plunger. It's never made any sense why a plunger is this powerful, but for certain steps of the Easter egg where you're in that final boss fight and you've got to take out like 5 to 6 panzers in a row that take a lot of health, using this makes it an absolute cakewalk. And with zombies being a thing for so long at this point, is it really that weird to see a plunger used like this? I don't think so. And our last Easter egg takes us back to 9 for a music Easter egg, which wasn't solved until 2020. Now, this is a really specific Easter egg that involves you standing on the challenge podium, which is in the middle of the spawn room, and you have to complete 5 full rounds stood here without ever leaving. Now, unless you're doing some sort of spawn room challenge, I doubt you would ever realize that this was here, and it's a really specific Easter egg. Now, this unlocks a new music Easter egg on the map, which is a really awesome theatrical orchestral piece that matches the sheer scale and epicness of the map. Like, you really sound like you're in a gladiator arena going to war, and it's really cool. But that is going to round up 20 more forgotten Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies that I doubt most of you will know. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to know in the comments below if you want to see another one, because I can happily do that. Definitely like the video to let me know that too. But if you want to watch 20 more forgotten Easter eggs, I've got my previous video covering 20 of them on screen right now. So subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and check that video out, where I'll see you there in just a few moments.